up. It's a surprise pop up. It's a pop up. You know why it's a pop up? Because I have a show scheduled for uh, Saturday. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. Originally, I was going to do a show on Friday night, but I cannot do that. Are you kidding me? I would be like, so I'm going out to dinner with her, so I can't be here with you tomorrow. So I decided to do a pop up today, and then I'll be back on Saturday with what we already have scheduled. Um, they want cooperation. Ah, they think that's what they want, but they don't really want that. Men talk about all kind of stuff, but when you see what they actually choose and what they actually be happy with versus what they say they want, it's usually not quite in sync. So they say stuff that because they think that other guys are going to approve of what it is that they say they want. Because you know how men are, they're followers. They want to get that approval. They need to feel part of a pack. They need that, camaraderie and that buy in from other dudes to feel like what they do, what they think, what they wear, what they say, what they drive, the woman they have, how they handle themselves in public, whether they cheat or not. All of that is done as part of a group. So whatever your man's friends do, you can bet that's what he's going to do because they're looking to like big each other up. So that's, I don't pay no attention to what. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, girl, there's some restaurants open. They ain't crowded, but there are some that are open. And I'm just that kind. I'm a find me one. But I have to take her out for her, for her birthday. So that's what we're gonna do. But what I want to talk about is something. I mean, we're going to cover a couple of different topics, but the one I really want to start off with is something that came up in one of the chats. And this lady, girl, whatever she was, anyway, some young woman came into the chat and she was adamant that a man, that virus thing, I've already had it. Remember when I was sick in January? That's what I figured out with all the symptoms. That's what I had. I talked over with my doctor. He said, "Yeah, that sounds like that's right when it was coming to the U.S. and you probably was one of the first people to catch it. So I'm done. So I could go anywhere and do anything. I'm not bothered." But back to the topic. So anyway, so she comes into the chat, right, and she starts talking about how a guy has to take her out, that she's not going to do no kind of coffee date. And, he got to spend his money and he got to take me out and he's got to invest in me, she said. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, this poor child, this poor child, she does not think. I mean, she has no clue what it means for a man to invest in you. And so these chicks out here promoting this hypergamy stuff, y'all be following them people. And I've looked at some of them since that conversation came up. And they do a lot of talking about having men spend money on you as being a measure of something. And I'm going to tell you, any man that's got some money, that's got a decent job and making, some kind of normal salary, Mary, what's up? And he can take you out for a little 50 or 60, even $100 dinner. I mean, it's all relative to the man's income. If he's making $150,000 a year, taking you to a dinner that costs $100 is no big deal to him. That's within his budget. You got somebody working at McDonald's taking you to $100 dinner, well, then that might be saying something. He's probably going to propose because he's spending that kind of money. But it's all relative. I mean, I don't date low budget dudes. So to me, $100 date is, that's $150, $200. That's regular. That's normal. I'm not gonna be tripping about that. Looking at like, oh my God, he's investing in me. He's just a dude just taking out for a nice time and trust. He probably ate and spent more money of that $200 than I did. Because I don't eat that much, not at one time. And so I just want to, kind of start there. We're going to clarify for those of you who are confused, who have been listening to too many hypergamy YouTubers, that when a man takes you out and spends a little chump change on a date, that is not, let me get rid of that. That is not him investing in you. He's not investing in a relationship. It's just a good time for the evening. Keep things in perspective. Now, because men can spend money. They'll spend money on several different women. And if a guy is not trying, he's just trying to set you up to think that the relationship is more than what it is. And a lot of you who, like, I hate to say it, but if you grew up without much, you're very hungry for that. You didn't have a lot of material goods when you was growing up. You probably had to wear hand-me-down clothes, and you didn't have like brand names and all this kind of stuff. Your parents maybe not even had a car, or they had like an old bucket or something. So when somebody has a new car, the flashy stuff and all this stuff, you are enticed by that because you've never had it. It's something that you've always wanted, something you felt was missing in your life. So it's like somebody dangling a carrot in front of you, you bite. And that's how you get caught up. And so guys go out and they throw what I call gold digger bait out to see who's gonna bite. And if you are so easily enchanted by a 50, 80, $100 dinner that you think that means something, see, then you have some issues that are bigger than what we can cover in this show that you need to address. But I'm gonna talk about what you did. It didn't end well. It never ends well because what it means, okay, and I kind of said this a little bit in the show. What hypergamy means is it's very broad. And what it means is that you marry, keyword marry, not go on a date with, marry a man or, a man that has more of something than you. Now, it may be more money. That's what they tend to focus on. But it may not be. It may be that he has a higher education. He has greater name, family. His family is more prestigious or something. It may be that his career is more prestigious. So the people that he's in a social circle with are like movers and shakers and hobnobbers and names. So that when the people that come to his house that he goes on the weekend trips with and stuff are names that like in the newspaper and on TV and in movies and whatnot. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has money to match theirs, but those are people he like grew up with, went to college with, whatever. That's his social circle. Okay, well, that's not yours. You with him, you get to be around all these different people and get opportunities to go places and do things, and be around people in a situation that you would never ever get to do otherwise. That's hypergamy as well. Anytime you're in a situation where the man that you're with, it affords you better, greater, more power, more influence, more money, more opportunities than you have by yourself or with some other lower level dude, that's hypergamy. Okay? So think about it, but you have to be married to it. Okay? Just dating it, hanging out with it, screwing it, that does not count. That does not count at all. A lot of you get caught up on that. Okay, now the second thing about hypergamy is this concept that if a guy spends money on you, that means he's investing in you. Do you know that wealthy men will spend money on everybody and everything and it just don't even give a poo-poo about it? That doesn't mean anything unless you're, like I said, not used to having anything. Then that's impressive to you. But it's like dudes, they will do that because they're not going to give of themselves. And when a man invests in you, that's what he's giving you himself. Okay, he's giving you his time. He's giving you his energy. He's giving you his interest. He's giving you his support, his encouragement, his conversation. And the number one thing he gives you is his time. Okay? That's when a man is investing in you. And it's obvious by a lot of the stuff that I keep seeing in the chat room. I may not say anything. I watch it. I look at it. I read it. I may go back and read it over again because, I'm doing stuff. I'm missing a lot. But I'm telling you that I've been paying attention to what's been going on in the chat room for the last couple of months. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing as far as the young women's focus on this kind of stuff being meaningful. It's not meaningful. Any man can put down a credit card to pay some money. What is he doing? What is he giving you of himself? That's what counts. Like if you say, oh my God, my back is really hurting. I don't know if I feel crooked or something. You've been in a car accident or whatever, right? And he's like, oh, I know a great chiropractor and stuff. So let me call him and set you up an appointment. And he knows you having a struggle to drive. He comes and picks you up and he takes you. Okay, because you so out of whack. You just walking, doing bending and whatever hurt. Your back is hurting. That's a man who gives a shit. That's a man who's taking care of you. That's a man who wants to make sure you're okay. And that's a man who's giving you his time. Now, I don't know how many women understand that. You're sick, he comes over, he goes to the grocery store, he tidies up your house. He sits there, reads you stories and rubs your head and, watches TV and movies with you and stuff, brings you cold things to drink. He's taking care of you. He's supporting you. He's making sure you're okay. You lose your job. You have some money, but your spirits are down. Of course, you don't, you're worried, you're stressed. You don't know, what's going to happen, how long it's going to take you. He's there with more than lip service. If he's got connections, he's on the phone. Dude, my lady, this and that, blah, blah, blah. What you got over there? What's happening? Who else do you know? We need, she's not really feeling too solid about this. I want to get her some interviews set up or something. Let's make this happen. Okay. He wants to make sure you're okay. He's taking care of things. Your car breaks down, he's right there. Whether you have AAA or not. I'm going to tell you a story about a woman I know. She was married. She's married to this fool, too. White girl married to a brother. I don't know why she stayed with this. Let me tell you what this clown did to her. Okay, she with their little daughter. It's nighttime. It's raining. Her truck, hey, princess. Thank you. Her truck breaks down right near the exit of a freeway. Now, you know how the freeway exits are. People kind of speeding on those things, right? Because they want to get home. It's commute time. It's late. So she calls her husband. And she's like, oh, my God, the truck broke down. I don't know what to do. Can you come and get, the baby and stuff? Can you come and get us? So he didn't want to come. She ends up begging him to come and get him. So finally he comes. Now, every brother who I told this to, every man, not just black man, every man that I told us who gives a shit about his wife and daughter says he would have gave her the keys to his vehicle and sent them home. He would have waited for the tow truck with the truck that broke down in the rain at night on the freeway exit in the cold. This boy comes and he gets the daughter and he leaves the wife there in the dark, in the cold, with a broken down truck on the freeway. And they were married. We would have been divorced. That wasn't the only thing that she told me that he did that was just like what I thought was just heartless and egregious, but that's her marriage and I hope she's happy in it. But that's something that I want you to understand. When a man invests in you, that's what he's doing. He's taking care of things around you. He's making sure you're solid, that you're not suffering, that you're taken care of, that your needs are being met. He's there for you. And like I said, anybody can, spend a little money. That don't mean nothing. He can spend $50 or $100 with you and leave out your bed and go find somebody else and do the same thing with them if he got it like that. That's no big deal. And you sitting up there thinking that means something. That's not uncommon. Well, that would be uncommon in my life because he would have one time to do that. Exactly one time. And when I got off that freeway, the next stop would be to my mama's house to stay there, or auntie's house, somebody. I would not go home. And the next morning, I would be at the divorce attorney's office figuring out what I need to do to dissolve my marriage. Because obviously he doesn't feel like I matter. And I could not be married to anybody that treated me that way. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, he's sorry. Ooh, I'm telling you, that was just one of the many stories that she told me about him. He's like trifling personified with like all kind of capital letters in that word, trifling. So, you have, you know, how, oh, and as well as too, I'm looking at my little scribbles on this post-it. This is sad. This is sad. This is my post-it. So, what did I write here? I wrote, interest is indicated by his thoughtfulness, like I just pointed out in that example, his willingness to open up emotionally, be vulnerable to you, to show you who are his heart, or like my dad used to call it, my soft underbelly. He wants to have um, a situation where he's not fighting with you and stuff and arguing about crazy stuff. That's a lesson I had to learn the hard way because I told you he was like, oh, he's older than me, but um, I don't know. It was a hard lesson for me to learn that you don't need to fight about everything. Yeah, it might seem like it's a big deal right now, but like I said, after he died, I thought about them big old fights that I was just so mad for days about and stuff. Couldn't even remember only one of them. I think one or two maybe that was really that important and I really had to, dig in my heels about. The rest of the time, it was just like, temperamental, moody stuff, and I was tripping. And I admit that I was tripping, but it's like I couldn't stop myself. But that's the kind of thing that if a guy is really invested emotionally in you, he's going to try to avoid scenes like that. So those of you who have guys who always want to fight with you, they want to put you down. They want to call you names. They want to just, as we used to call it, shine you on. That's the 70s term. They just want to ignore you. They just, they make promises, they don't keep them. They leave you hanging. They abandon you. They don't treat you well. And you are in a relationship with them, like these ladies that we're doing the series now. Um, those men are not emotionally invested in you. You might be invested in them, but they're not invested in you back. So it's something to think about. I just wanted to do, I'm glad I wanted to do this now because I wanted to kind of augment what's been going on the channel, with the new program that we're doing, the special programming. And I do want to say, as an aside, I have about 35 interviews scheduled over the next 3 weeks. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to be busy. And those of you who are interested, though, be sure to write me. Use the different email address. It's debsterism@gmail.com. Debsterism, that matches the name of this channel. Debsterism@gmail.com. And say what it is that you think, you want to talk about your relationship with a narc. And then I will give you the link to schedule your appointment, and then we will do your interview. I'm giving everybody, 45 minutes to an hour. Usually, I'm booking them for 45, but if we run a little over, there's some space to do that. All right. So that, give that a thought. You've been seeing some of the interviews. If you think you have something that you could share with the ladies, we welcome your input. So now let's move on and talk about this investing some more. You want a guy to invest in you, right? What does it mean? Okay, first of all, when he invests, he's going to give you his time and his energy, like I said. He's going to be extremely interested in you. I mean, not to the point of, he's fixated like you a bug under a microscope. But I think one of the main things that guys do when they show interest is when you tell them something, they remember what you said. When you tell them what you like, what your favorite colors are, foods that you like, your allergies, the names of your friends, the name of your pets. He remembers stuff about you because you are important to him. It's not like, oh, that damn cat. He remembers the cat's name. He greets the cat. He greets the cat because the cat's important to you. You see what I mean? That's how you know that you got a guy who's investing in you. Now, if you have a man and you don't feel like he's investing in you, what is the best tactic? Because y'all will go and start chasing the dude. You want to start blowing up his phone. Text him half to death. Tell your fingers are nubs. Calling, leaving message after message after message. Driving around trying to find him. All kind of stuff you do. The best thing to do when you have a man like that that's not giving you what you want and you think that you want him to invest in you, back off. Don't do shit. I mean, he knows you're interested, right? Because otherwise, you wouldn't have been talking to him and all that, everything that happened prior to that. But you never chase a man. You never chase after a man. That's his job. So you back off. If the phone, he stopped calling or whatever, you don't call him. You just don't call. If he don't call, then y'all don't talk. He don't text, y'all don't text. You don't go on no dates. I guess you ain't going. Not with him anyway. And give men the space to see how they really feel. I think that's, kind of a problem. A lot of guys are scary. They're afraid and they don't want to get hurt. And you don't either, though. You know what I mean? But you have to give them the space to think about you and to miss you and to think about how you fit into their life and what they want to give you, how they want to be with you, what they can. Is this a good bet? Is this too risky? I mean, you got to give them the space to think about all those kinds of things. And when you start chasing them and blowing up their phone and, well, why haven't I seen you? We need to see each other more. I just don't know about this situation. I just don't get to be around you enough. I'm not happy. Yeah. What is that going to do, though? I mean, is that really going to get you the results that you want? Is that going to draw somebody to you, or is that going to run them off further? I mean, just think about it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, I just want you to think about it. If that were you, how would you feel? And would that make you want to be closer to the person, or would that make you be like, screw this B, I'm out? For me, it would be the latter. Leave me alone. Let me get my thoughts together and figure out how I feel about you. It might end well, it might not. But either way, I know that you're in control of your emotions and I don't have to worry about that. And if I decide to move forward and really invest in you, it'll feel cool to do so because you handled yourself well. I don't have to worry about you being some kind of psycho. If I come forward and I offer you my love and my heart and stuff, I think it will be well received because you cool, you calm, you collected, you got your shit together, you handling things. That's the kind of women most men want. Not one who's going to be a Klingon and all wild and crazy. All right. So yeah, you just back up. You want to leave him with the impression that you can handle his emotional upheavals without flipping out and ending the relationship or, thinking that something's wrong. He's cheating on you. All these insecure things that women say and do. Just chill out. Just relax. Take some deep breaths. He'll be back. Either he'll be back to tell you it's over or he'll be back to tell you, baby, 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 please, baby, baby, please. Either way, he'll be back. They always come back. That used to be you, positive. Ooh, honey. My fingers would fall off if I tried calling myself chasing a man. Ugh, I barely would even want to call him or text him. Sometimes, I have to make myself because, people they get in their little feelings. Well, it's like you don't care. It's like, I don't. But, you don't want to tell them that. Because, I like them enough, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to be all crazy and like going bananas over nobody. So, I don't know. Um, the other thing that I think, what a lot of women don't understand is that men have to see you as a good deal. They have to see you as a benefit to their life in some way. Now, of course, the dusty way for them to see you as a benefit is, they get to drive your car, they get to live at your house, they get to eat up your food, they get to use your cosmetics and toilet tissue and use your cable and stuff without paying any money. Now, that's the dusty way to do things. But a good deal in that you make him look good in some way, or you make him feel good about himself even. Or, you give him hope, you give him encouragement, you give him something he can't give himself. And when you're not there, he misses you because of that. Your laughter, which lightens his heart, the crazy jokes you tell that make him roll his eyes, but he thinks about them all day. The way your hair smells, the way you make little funny sounds when you sleep, all of those things together are what makes a man miss you and want to, be around you. But you got to give him the space to do that. Begging him and hounding him and hunting him down and all this stuff, that doesn't do it, honey. And that's your own insecurities that you need to wrestle with. You got to get those under control. So how do you know You dealing with a dude, right? And you thinking everything's going well because he's spending time with you. I don't notice how many letters say that, right? They say that all the time. Well, we spend all this time together. We do everything like we're a couple. We do everything like we're married, like I'm waiting for the ring. I'm this and that. Okay, but dude never said I want you to be my girl. I never, when they really want to lock you down, that's what they say. And not only do their words say it, their behavior matches it. That's the thing that's very important. Because, the player types, these narky dudes, will come in trying to nail stuff down like right away, trying to get you to commit to them a week or two into the relationship and all this old crazy stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a dude who is taking his normal time, progressing the relationship slowly but surely, but the pace is steady. It may be very slow, but it's steady in the forward direction. And then you know, when it's time, he's gonna approach you about, putting a title on it, making it official, all this kind of stuff, even becoming engaged, whatever his thing is. But if you have a dude who's not doing that, right, that means he's not as serious about you as you might like to think that he is. And so, a lot of you want to do too much. You are like, you want to be moving in with them or let them move in with you. And uh, I don't know. It's like you want to skip that part. You just want to have like the illusion of this, fantasy relationship that you have in your mind without it having any kind of real solid foundation. So you want to skip all that getting to know you and all the conversations and the time and stuff like that. You want to skip all that. You just want to get right to what you think is the commitment. And the man can do those actions, but I mean, they'll, move in with you or whatever, get you pregnant, all kind of stuff. But what is he giving you? How is he investing of his time, his energy, and his emotions? Remember that? All of them, not just one. And not just giving lip service. Is his words matching his actions? That's where most of them fall apart. If you guys took your time and sat back and logically looked at what they do versus what they say they're gonna do, you will see that there's some big, giant, gaping, miles wide holes that, something ain't matching up. And once you do that, then you will see that, he's talking smack. He's talking smacks. They do. Says, I feel the girls wait for a ring when the guy is not ready. You are exactly right. Because, see, that ring represents commitment to them, that they have arrived, that somebody wants them, that they're, going to be a wife. And it's like this thing, it's like this lifetime goal, and they just really want it. But like I said, if you don't have the foundation underneath that of the time, the energy, and the investment of his, his heart and all those kind of things to go with it, then you just have a ring. You got what I call a shut up ring. He will profess his feelings and desires. Well, yeah, he will, but most usually, before they say them, they're showing you. The words usually are last, except with the narc. With him, the words are first. When normal dudes, they're afraid to say the words because they don't know what he might feel it. Like my dad, he said as soon as he saw my mother, he knew. He just felt it. He just knew. That's the woman I'm going to marry. And for him, it was like instant love. That love at first sight stuff. And she was like, get out of my face. Not having it. And that went on for years, but he was, persistent. He waited. And so, it eventually got her. But I think a lot of guys, they're not going to say anything. They're going to feel it, and they're going to show you how they feel about you by the things that I just said. Investment of time, investment of energy, investment of effort, investment of his heart. And then he's going to offer commitment. So it's going to be them 5 things that he's going to give you a lot of times before they even say the words, I love you. Those things are already apparent. I think a lot of women don't really know how to see them, or maybe they haven't seen them because all the dudes they dated have been so dusty. And I understand that because it just seems like there's a massive proliferation of dustiness being manufactured in some kind of factory somewhere, just churning them out. All the dudes are dusty as hell. It's just sad. You stay at a little level a little lower than theirs. That's the best way to do it, Jim Doll. Otherwise the women be getting they give too much. They be doing too much. I don't know. I don't get it. The other thing the way that you can tell is even before he offers a commitment and all that stuff, but does he make you a priority? Remember how I said a little bit ago how the dudes, will blow you off, leave you hanging, make promises and don't follow through, make jokes about it and stuff like you supposed to be okay with just being left on your own. It's like if I'm got to do by myself what I need you for, get out, get out, get out, get out. You got one time to do that. They just make me itch. I just don't like it. It's like, what in the world? Why do you think I would want to be in a relationship with you and I can't even depend on you to do what you say you're going to do? You don't even show up at the time and with the place that you say you're going to be. And you think I'm going to give you my heart? Let you into my world like that? Think again. I'm not doing that. But a lot of y'all will. I just be looking at you because I'm like, wow. Yo, standards is way different than mine. Cause he can't. Nah. Now I'm looking. I don't say a lot. Most of the talking I do is on my YouTube channel. In real life, I don't really talk that much. I just be looking at people. I be in my head a lot, and I just be looking at them. Just like, yeah. If I like you, I'll talk. But it's when we having no long conversations. That's not me. Long conversations on the phone, and I don't do all that. I just be looking at people and analyzing the things that they say and do. And I might not say anything, but I've already reached my conclusion. So if you got a guy who's not a priority to you, I mean, you're not a priority to him, rather, then just let that go. I dated this guy, and he had, we didn't date for long, but I was gonna say I went out with him for a couple of times. Let me put it that way. And when we like a couple of times, we were trying to make plans to get together, and he always had to put a priority of his quote nephew. Now I did meet the little boy. I mean, but that's not your kid. What codependent for the daddy who's you letting off the hook by stepping in doing what he's supposed to be doing. So either way, it was something I didn't really want to be bothered with. But it's not the little kid's fault. And the kid was like a teenager, and so he would make plans to do stuff with him rather than with me. So the second time that happened, I was like, let's just let this, let's just be friends. And he was like, oh, but I'm like, no, no. As I could just see this was going to be one of the direction I did not want to be bothered because I don't want to feel like I got to chase you down to get your attention. And even though we had just met and stuff, it wasn't starting off well. You know what I mean? He wasn't showing the proper interest for someone who was looking to invest in a relationship. And that's something like when you're really young, you don't really you can't really put puzzle pieces together real quick like that. But once you get older, you just see shit like instantly. And so you already know, like I said, that happened by the time it happened the second time, I was, that was it. I was done because I'm not okay. One time, yeah, I mean, he's a kid. I mean, whatever, something might have come up. You know what I mean? I wasn't really liking it, but then I wasn't in because when it's family, it's one of those kind of things that I call like an insurmountable barrier where somebody's putting up a barrier to get you getting too close to them, but you don't know just from the first time, is this going to be a pattern or is this a one-off? Okay, that's what I mean. So even though I wasn't really feeling it, it could have been a one-off. So the only way I was going to know that was to be there for time two, right? Now we wasn't sleeping together, nothing. I'm telling you that. None of that was happening. But I just was like, okay, well, let's just see how this plays out. So then we went out a time or two or something, and then that happened again the second time, and at that moment I was done. You see what I mean? So I have my standards, and that wasn't meeting them. And it was just as simple as that. I'm not going to be put secondhand. So I say all that as an example, as a story time, to tell you that if you are in a situation where a guy is not making you a priority, that means that he is not willing to invest in you. It's just that simple. And it don't matter how much money he spends on a date. And it doesn't matter how much money he has. It doesn't matter what he drives, what he wears, what his profession is, how professional he is, well, how much salary he makes. Nothing. None of that matters. What matters is how he treats you and his desire to be in a situation where he's around you. Okay. And y'all, a lot of you don't understand that concept. You know, and a relationship is about you. And if he's not being about you, then what are you there for? I'm never going to chase a man. A car date? Search me. I don't know. But you sit in the car and you call that and eat burgers or something? Sit there and talk or listen to music? I mean, what, you don't have no house to be in? You got to be in a car? I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. Yo, you sit in the car and talk? He's in his 40s. Oh, that means he's married and he don't have no place else to go. I got a baby. Some situation. He got a situation. So he either got to go to your house or he got to sit in a car because you can't go to his house. Okay. What's another thing that they do when they're not trying to invest in you? They don't really seem that interested in you. It's really unfortunate because I was watching this thing on YouTube. You know how they show the things that flop up, flip up? And Jimmy Kimmel was interviewing some couples on the streets of, I think he was in New York or Chicago or somewhere. And it was sad because these are people, some of them were married and some of them had been couples, you know, they would call themselves being a couple. He asked them, the guy, stuff like, so when is your girlfriend's birthday? What's her favorite color? What's her favorite food? What's her best friend's name? What's her parents' name? And some of these, you know, what's her sibling's name? Do you know these men didn't know the answer? That's how little they cared about the woman that they called themselves being in love with. You should have seen the look on those women's faces. You probably could see it on YouTube. I watched it 3 times because the first time I was watching it and I was listening to what he said and kind of looking at the reactions. So, oh, that wasn't good enough. So I had to go watch it the second time and then I watched the men. Then I watched it the third time and I watched the women. So I needed to do it so I could get each reaction separately, right? That was some sad shit. And you could see the look on the women's faces. They was trying to joke it off. But you could tell they were extremely hurt. And looking at these dudes like, oh my God, I am married to someone who doesn't give a shit about me. And it's like they just, you know, it just realized it. They don't know. They didn't take the time to learn anything about their woman. Just basic stuff like her parents' name, her best friend's name, her pet's name, her favorite food, and her favorite color. That's stuff that you talk about on the first date. And these are dudes, you know the woman had to have told them, but it went in one ear and out the other because they didn't give a shit. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. You got to have a man who cares about you. If he doesn't care enough to remember those basic things about you, and if he knows he has a bad memory, then he's going to write, he's going to put it in his phone so it pops up. Well, you know, tomorrow's Babe's birthday. Get Babe a present or the week reminder or something. He's going to do something even if he knows he has a bad memory to never let you know that he forgot. He's never going to disappoint you like that. He's going to put some shit into place so to make sure that he comes through. That's a man who gives a shit. You got a man who doesn't. That's what it was called, couple questions. I don't know. I was just, you know, it just popped up on my, you know, that thing on the side, the recommended video. So I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Click. And then I was horrified at what I saw. Yeah, they were, not just mad money woman, hurt. The look, they were confused and hurt. And you can look in there. Because like I said, I watched it 3 times so I could see each party's reaction separately. And the look was confusion, like, what? And then hurt, like, what? What? You know, kind of expression. It was a trip. It was sad. Now, in my case, like my dad, he not only didn't remember our birthday, he didn't remember his. So it was like, you couldn't get mad at him because, you know, we would be like, happy birthday, daddy, you know, and making how little kids make the ashtrays and do all the crazy stuff at school. And we'd be all excited. I'd make him cupcakes and all the stuff. And he'd be looking confused, like, what? And we like, it's your birthday, it's your birthday. And he's like, it is. And he wasn't joking. He honestly did not keep up with that stuff like that. And so in a situation where you got a man like that, you can't get mad at him that he didn't remember. You just make sure you put it in his phone so he has a pop-up reminder that it's somebody's birthday, his kids, his mama, somebody, and then he'll, get the notion. I don't know if it, but you don't want to play them kind of games, Jim Don. I mean, if you got a man who's not loving you right, just get rid of him. I mean, it's like you want to have a man that you can sleep with and enjoy all of that part of your life with. You don't want to be trying to play games and put that on lockdown because that punishes him, I guess, but it punishes you too. I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to do that. I'll just get a different dude that has better memory and knows how to treat me. That's the answer to that question, not to be playing those kind of games. That's not the answer. Just get rid of him because he's a dusty. And there's all different kinds of levels of dust now. Everybody thinks that you got to be like the grimiest, most tragic kind of dude. Nah, there's some dusties that have MBAs and PhDs and stuff. They still dusty as hell in how they relate to the women that they are supposed to love. So, looking at it that way, it's a whole bunch of dudes that have some serious dust problems. If you got a dude that cancels on you, some of the women have written letters about the dudes that they have a date with, and then suddenly he's like, "Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, I'm going out with my friends. I'm doing this and I'm doing that." Mm-hmm. Okay. Told you about my friend Paul, how I did him. Ooh, he was so fine. Oof, my God. But he wasn't fine enough. Calling me, talking about supposed to be at my house at 7 o'clock. Calling me at 6:30, talking about, oh, I'm at Skates with some of my friends. I'm like, Skates? Isn't that in Oakland? 'Cause I lived in San Francisco at the time. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, you're supposed to be here in 30 minutes. I'm going to give you 10 minutes. And if you ain't here by 10 after, I'm leaving. And so he pulled up all out of breath and stuff. But I was too late because it was 20 after by then. And I was going down the stairs and getting another dude's car named Dwayne. I still remember Dwayne was cute too. A little high yellow for my taste, but he was nice. He treated me well, and he'd been after me for weeks to go on a date with him. So I went out with Dwayne. Paul was just standing there looking crestfallen. But you know what? He was never late again. And he did not try that, I'll just put you off game. So you're going to be showing up when you get ready. No, Negro, we're not playing. We're not doing that. We're not going to do that. We don't do that. Deborah does not do that. So he learned. See, I could show you better than I could tell you. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to just do. And you get to see. So, them dudes that do something with different because somebody else called them and they feel like this is a better deal than being with you, cut that loose. Don't invest in that. Don't put no emotions into that situation. You're going to end up with your face cracked because you loving somebody and making him a priority. Yeah, and that's his real name. I'm using real names now. It's so many years ago. I don't know. They could be dead by now. It's like, but, I'm just saying. Yeah, fine. Ooh, he was fine. I'm having flashbacks. All my dudes I used to go with was really, really very handsome, very handsome dudes. I didn't date no ugly man. But it didn't save them from my wrath. So I treat them all the same. I don't care what you look like. You act stupid, you get cussed out, cute or not. So what do you do if you got a dude, right? You want to, you talking about he's investing in you because he took you out, but you spend all his time with him, he spend all his money, but you notice he never talks about a future. And not just talk about it, because a lot of dudes will talk about it, because the players do that. They do what I call that dream spinning fairy godfather future talk. Because right, they just met you, right, and here they go. Oh, I could see us, being old together. Or I could just see us building a house and have a room for our 3 kids and this and that and blah blah blah. And y'all bite. I mean, I listen to it, because I don't know, it's just different for me. It's like it's fodder for my articles and shows and stuff, right? So I just listen to it because I just want to have something to talk about when I get on the show and tell y'all, right? And so I'm listening to all this garbage and just like, wow, you really think that somebody seriously I'm taking this serious? But I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to commit the shit to memory, right? So when I get back here, I can repeat it verbatim and tell y'all what they said. But yeah, that, but this future, what I didn't even, this is before I even knew about narcissism, because, black men do that, it's just part of the game. And so, to get the draws game. And they want to act like they have this major interest in you, that they're going to be around forever. So you start painting a picture in your mind of happily ever after, even though he never said that. All he was doing was just talking, right? Just, yeah, this and yeah, that. And blah, blah, blah. We could this and we could that. And, blah, blah, blah. And so, but he hasn't really made any tangible plans, like put a date on it, made a, invested no money in it. It's just all he just running his rubber lips. He may say nothing. And so, but a lot of you, will get caught up in that and think that's meaningful. Now, if you've been dating a guy though for 6 months, a year, somewhere in there, and he's not talking anything about a future. Everything is it's here and now, spontaneous. He can't even make like a plan for 2 weeks from now. You have a problem. And most likely you are in love with someone who is not invested in you emotionally. You're just something to do. And you got to have the strength to understand what time it is, because a man who is looking to do stuff with you long term he's saving money. Next year we're going to go to Bermuda. Okay, so here's a trip. I'm going to look at this and let's stay here. So we need to save blah, blah, blah amount of money and, make sure we got our passports and all this old stuff. Okay, so he's doing tangible effort, putting effort into it to make the magic happen. Somebody else just sitting on the couch with the remote control in his hand talking smack. There's a difference. So you got to pay attention to that. Is he doing or is he just talking? Which one is going on? Pay attention to that. So if you don't have no future talk at all and no future actions at all, then way back, well, girl, I don't be paying attention. I'm over here. And then I look over there and then I go back over here. So if it scrolled up, I missed it. That's what it happens. Now, what do you do if you've been dating a guy for a while and he doesn't want to make it official? There's two ways that can go, right? You got the narky dudes that want to make it official, like, 3 days after they meet you, if not the same day. Or you have a dude that's like, you feel like he just kind of stringing you along, wasting your time. You've been going out with him 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and he still hasn't said anything about you guys being like, committed to each other, this and that. Don't think that just because you spent time that means anything, because he could be spending a lot of time with somebody else or looking to spend time with somebody else. That doesn't mean he selected you as his partner. Okay, be very clear on that. In order to have that, then you guys got to have a conversation. You got to sit down and talk about, well, this, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is our goal. This is how we're going to run this. This is how the relationship is going to work. This is, how we're going to, invest our time and energy into each other. You know what that conversation is all about. But if you don't have that conversation, then you don't have a relationship. That means you ain't committed. And that means he's not choosing to commit to you for a reason. Pay attention. Don't come writing me complaining. Well, why hasn't he hasn't made any, we don't. Just cut bait. Because he done spent all that time with you. He knows if you the one or not by now. If he hasn't made any noises in that direction, that means the answer is no. Stop deluding yourself. That only works if you're a teenager and still in high school or something. College maybe, because y'all still kids. But you in your 30s and you got somebody just jacking around like that and you're going to be wasting 6, 8 months, 10 years with them? You're crazy, lady. You need to stop. There's something wrong with you. That's not going to work. All right. So anyway, enough of that. I think you have the idea, right? Okay, about What it means for a man to invest in you. Do not come here talking about somebody took you on a date to spend $50 and be all have your chest all puffed out, thinking that that means that man invested in you. He didn't invest in nothing. You're drunk, dreaming, something, something's delirious. Now let's talk about this other article that that I came across, and I don't really know how I feel about it. I'm trying to what is this? Oh, I'll toss that. It says that it's talking about why breakups are harder on men than they are on women. And after I started laughing, then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, that could be because, I mean, women, I don't think it's harder. I think that women just handle it differently. Because women be devastated too, but we're okay with being devastated, with crying, throwing stuff, eating ice cream by the gallons, crying to our girlfriends, getting drunk, having everybody over, sitting there having a sleepover, drunk out of our minds, everybody crying and talking about how they got, we do that. We just like get it all out and then, we're okay. We're okay. Men don't do that. So this article says, it says a range of studies shows that men are less steady on their own than women. Show of hands, who already knew that? That's why men act so stupid when you try to leave them. Remember that video that showed this dude, this lady was trying to leave him and he was in public too. It was so embarrassing. Dude was hanging all on her leg and crying and stuff. It was like he was in an adult body, but his tone of voice, his face, and the way he was crying, it sounded like a baby being left by its mama. It was kind of tragic. And I was sitting there and I was like, wow, this was kind of amazing. But Sister Girl was like unfazed. She was like shaking him off of her legs. She was like, and then she was on out the door, and he was all devastated. Somebody had recorded it. It was going around Facebook last year. I must have watched that 10 times. First, I was horrified, right, because like, he was so emotional. Then I just fell out laughing. It's like you must have done something to deserve it. So don't be crying now. Because she was cold. I mean, the way he had to have done something really bad. Because the way she left him, she was just like, I don't have no fucks. I don't care. Just leave me alone. He's still mad 20 years later, Drea? He really needs a hobby or something. Wow. Yeah, that's a turnoff. I want to, man, if I'm leaving you, I want you to be a G about it. At least, make me proud. It's like, yeah, he didn't like it. He did, he was upset and stuff, but he handled it like a G. So I can have some respect about you when I talk about it later. Admiration and shit. I don't want to be sitting up there thinking about you like, he folded up on the floor into a puddle and cried like a 1-year-old. That will make me disgusted. Okay, then I'm going to tell everybody. So you didn't want to do that. You better be a G in my face and go cry into your pillow when I'm gone. Don't do that in front of me. That would be a mistake. Because I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to make a video about it too. Put it on Instagram. It'll just be awful. So don't do that. So anyway, so he says these studies show this, right? So he says, we all know the stereotype. Men, bored by the constraints of monogamy and domesticity, heartlessly dump their girlfriends or leave their wives. While newly single men enjoy the freedom of bachelordom, their exes sob into a pint of ice cream. Oh, that is the stereotype, right? But he says, but men crave relationships as much as women, and what's more, women may end more unions than men. Women initiate divorces more than men, and there is little gender difference in which spouse has an affair preceding a divorce. In addition, on average, women may suffer less post-breakup. Marriage is strongly associated with overall happiness for both genders, in part because marriage is associated with financial well-being and better health. But not only may marital happiness be higher for men than women, the protective health benefit of marriage is larger for men than it is for women. Did you hear that? There's protective health benefits for people in marriages, allegedly, good marriages, that is. They should have qualified that. But the protective health benefit is greater for men than it is for women. Men may be happier in their marriages than women, and men may have more to lose in a divorce or breakup in terms of health and happiness. Wow. So then we get to the good part. So why are breakups harder on men according to this gent's theory? Most of the negative effect of choices on health may be explained by changes in lifestyle, such as smoking and alcohol abuse. And when wives always encourage healthy behavior in their husbands, without this positive influence, divorced men may rapidly fall into old, unhealthy habits. In other words, they revert back to idiocy because they don't have anyone making them eat their broccoli. They just want to live off of pizza, barbecue, and beer. That's what they're saying. This is unbelievable. I just like, I just. In addition, men may be more emotionally dependent on their wives and have fewer alternative sources for emotional support. When asked who they would turn to first if they were feeling depressed, 71% of men said their wives, whereas only 39% of women said their husbands. Wow, that's like half. Married women may maintain a more diverse network than married men, and this non-spousal support is important during a separation. Wow. Men are neurochemically predisposed to find breakups more difficult than women and to resist seeking help from friends. Well, that's too bad. Fix yourself. And they rebound with somebody new. And I always said that because it's like you see a woman get out of a long-term marriage or something, they ain't in no rush to remarry. They be like, "Ooh, no, I'm cool. I'm enjoying myself. I have some freedom, freedom," like they said in that movie. But the men be like, they want somebody to cook and clean for them and pat them up and sleep with and stuff. So they just race around and find the next wife and get married. And they don't even really care if they love her that much. They just want a warm body. They don't want to be alone. They have a hard time with being alone. So they want to find somebody, anybody. And then they complain when she leaves them and takes half. Well, you should have picked better, right? That's their fault. Exactly, Drea. It's their fault. They should have chose better. What you want from me? You shouldn't have let her. You should have got yourself a prenup. You should have done things to protect yourself. Don't come crying to me about it. Joining them 5-letter groups and stuff and whining like a big ass baby about it. I just can't find it in me to have pity. So the harmful effects are stronger for men. Men receive less support from friends or family, in part because men are less likely to seek out this support. Well, what does that mean? That means it's your fault if you get less support from friends and family. You don't ask them for support, so of course they're not going to give it because they think you got it under control. So don't be trying to play the victim role when you set yourself up to be the victim. You intentionally did that to yourself, and then you want to try to play the victim card? Ooh, I am so sick of this kind of stuff. So anyway, in essence, breakups are tougher on men because men chose paths of being alone, unfriendly, not having a social network, and depending only on their wives to be their everything. That's no one should be your everything. I tell women that too. You try to say, "Oh, he's my best friend." Well, your best friend should be separate from your husband. Your best friend should be separate from your wife. Just like I don't like the machines where it's a fax printer and scanner all in one. I don't like friendships that's all in one either. That's too much riding on one thing. So that when that one thing goes out, you're stuck. You can't do nothing. And it's the same thing to me with a friendship. So I have a separate fax machine, I have a separate printer, and I have a separate scanner. And I have a separate best friend, and I have a separate mate, and I have a second, road dog. Everything's separate. Separate. One breaks down, one goes away, you still got backups. You can still keep things going. You looking for the benefit? There really isn't one. Not like that. It's gonna be a general situation, specific to that couple, and you have to weigh if being with this man outweighs being single and whatever benefits you get from that. But to say in general that marriage is better, or marriage is good, or marriage is the preferred way of being for a woman in 2020. I can't say that. I mean, all around the world, women are, just turning their noses up to it because it's about choking women and putting them in a box of slavery and obligation and responsibility for some people they probably don't even like that much. Like those bratty kids and that crazy husband they have. So, you see all these women, all the women, married women be all depressed and miserable and stuff. Not all, but way too many, for you to consider it being like a preferred state of being. So I'm just saying, if you go into it with your eyes open. I'll never tell anybody not to get married. I'm saying if you decide that you want to do that, first of all, know why. Why are you choosing to do this? And then number two, be very clear about what's going to cost you, what you're willing to give up to be married, and then be very clear with the person that you're marrying what they're going to, make, how they're going to make it worth your while. Know what you're going to give, know what you're going to get, and make your decision accordingly. Because sometimes the cost is too high for what you get. Some of you will go forward anyway, but I don't recommend that. You got to make sure that what you're getting is equal to what you're giving in value. I'm not saying in time, but in value. Okay? Be very clear about what you want. Now let's talk about something else. Let us talk about this other article that I found. I've been hanging on to this since 2018. What's up, Lady Boss? I didn't even tell Lady Boss. I just snuck in the back door. I was like, hi. Yeah, the shipwrecks around you, girl. I'm trying to tell you. And these women be like, oh, but I'm married, though. I'm like, I wouldn't tell anybody that if I were you. I would keep that a secret because your husband is stupid. Your marriage is a joke. And you are trying to pretend like you happy to keep up a face when you know you miserable. Even if you don't make your own money, you still have the right to scrutinize because you're going to be giving up your body, birthing children for him and stuff. Your body's going to change forever. You got to be bothered with his family. You got to be bothered with him. So whether that little chump change money they have, to me, when you count, like if you did minimum wage for all the jobs, services that wives provide, they would still be broke. Because the amount that he would have to pay for maid service, chauffeur service, cook and cleaning service, laundry services, all the stuff that, social calendar management and all the stuff that women do, nannying, all the stuff. If there was, each of those was a separate job and that person was getting paid for it, you know how many their salary would be? About $300,000. But as a wife, you don't get a dime. Barely could get a thank you. I'm not trying to do all that. That is like a thankless job. I just wish I had known this before. I mean, I don't know. I might have still married him maybe because he was, he wasn't really tripping like that. But then again, maybe not. Because I don't really want to get married. I really wasn't, that wasn't me. Why can't we just live in sin? You know, you got to think about this. I mean, you got to really think, put your mind to it. Don't just get caught up in the old romance of it. Oh, I'm going to be married like I've always dreamed when I was a child. You ain't a child no more. Put your big girl panties on and put your brain in place and think about what this means. Ask him what he's going to give you. What is he going to do? What's his idea of marriage? Are y'all even on the same page? These women be getting married and then they come to find out the dude expects them to be a stay-at-home mom and be his maid service and all this stuff. And they're like, no, I didn't go to college for that. I have a career. I want to be advancement. I want to do things with myself. I want to start a business. I want this and that. And his idea of a wife is so not yours. But these are conversations that you need to have before you start accepting people's engagement rings. You get caught up in the moment and oh my God, yes, yes. And then he put the ring on and you got to flash the ring around and you want to run around and show all your friends and talk about the wedding plans and all that stuff. So you get caught up in the wedding and you don't be thinking about the marriage. And I want you to flip that. and think about the marriage more than you do the wedding, because that's just a party. That's just one day. The other part is for years and years, decades and decades if you do it right. But you have to think about, who is this man? What is he offering me? What am I going to have to give up of myself to be in a relationship with him? Does this make any sense? Is this really what I want? Or is this just some social programming that I'm following because everybody else is doing it, or this is what people told me that I should do? And, I've been groomed to be a wife. I mean, why or do you want to do it? Why? And then figure that out. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do, not to do. I'm just saying, go into it with both eyes open and know the full story before you sign on the dotted line. So then you can't never say, well, I didn't know. You better talk. Do it now. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Let's talk. That's some stuff they should have worked out before they started getting all, about it. You better, that's the kind of stuff you need to talk about. And my thing is, if I'm not saying he got to do it. You don't have to do it, but you better hire somebody to do your half then. And while they at it, just pay them to do mine too, because I'm tired just like you. So get a maid. Yeah, they be doing that. That old bait and switch where it makes it sound like it's all good and gravy, and then you get in it and you be like, oh shoot, I got sucker punched. This is some BS. So let's talk about this thing here. This last article we're gonna talk about tonight in our pop up. Because I didn't really have like a major topic, but other than the thing about what it means for somebody to invest in you. That was my topic. These are just side things that I wanted to talk about, but it's not enough to talk about, just in one show. So we've combined them. So this is an article I ran across way in 2018, and I must have printed it out or something. I don't know. Maybe somebody emailed. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I have it, and it says 10 things that men want from their wives and girlfriends. Of course, they put eggplant as the first thing. It's like no surprise that they want that. Most men will say that's number one on their list. But they also have other things that they want that they don't really ask women for. And I'm like, well, why don't you ask women for it? What's wrong with your mouth? What, are we supposed to be psychic mind readers now? Oh. All right, so let me flip the page and get started with this list of 10 things that men want that they are afraid to say. Affection. They want affection. And, they want the eggplant action happening, but they want to just have, like their little handheld and a little love message on his voicemail, or massage his shoulders or his back, and, just touch him gently and show that you care. And, be warm. Tell him how much you love him. Cheer him on when he's feeling doubtful. Tell him you're sorry when things go wrong. Give him an unexpected kiss. Flirt with him. Experiment with romantic and emotional affection to see what makes him feel whole. Okay. Any comments on that? Any comments on that before I... Who's calling me? Hold on, y'all. Oh, okay, good. They hung up. Oh, I don't know why people want to call me when they know I'm doing my show. Don't call me. All right, so that's affection. Men want affection. So anybody got any comment about that? They want a mommy. Dre, it's crazy. Get off of me. Oh, money on. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's one thing when you do that, you know what I mean, that you, you feel that way and you walk by, you rub him on his back or pat him on the booty or something. I mean, you know what I mean? There's some little things like that. Of course, sometimes you come and you give him a hug and a kiss, whatever this, that. But there's this long old list. It's like he wants you to hold his hand. Well, if you want your hand hold, reach your hand out and hold hers. Why do you want somebody to do all the work like you just a big old baby? What happened to men taking the lead? You want your hand held, hold her hand. That's real simple. You want to talk about your problem? Say, babe, I'm just, can I run something by you right quick? Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why it is he said they want these things, but they don't want to tell the women that they want them. You better open your damn mouth. I'm not a psychic mind reader. Well, they hide that part of themselves, but so what? I mean, what is that my job to be a psychic and figure out what you need without you telling me? I'm not gonna do that. Okay? It's two adults in this relationship. Open your mouth. Say what it is you need. You don't have to whine like a big baby. You could do just like I said. Something's bothering you, babe. Something. Ooh, so really got something on my mind. I need to run it by you right quick. Can we get together? Unless you're married, then of course you're already there. But otherwise, or, let's talk or something. Okay, most women are gonna be, oh yeah, sure, babe. What you need. She cares about you, so of course she's gonna listen. But she don't know that you need her if you don't open your mouth and tell her. So this is like a setup. See, this is the part that bothers. Right? It's exhausting. It's exhausting because they are expecting you. This is what I did a show some time ago called "Hidden Agenda," secret agreements and hidden agendas. This is a hidden agenda because they have all these things they're expecting you to do. These expectations they're expecting you to meet that are unspoken. Like, you just want, I'm sensing, you need to talk. You have a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem at your job. I'm seeing a problem at your job. There's a problem with your boss. Okay, so he can say, yes, that's right. And then you guys start talking. I mean, is that what you want? Okay, that's never going to happen. Okay, I'm just having fun with this right now, but that's not going to happen. You need to open your mouth. If you got something that you need from your mate, ladies, this goes for you too. Open your mouth and ask for it, you know. Because then they set you up, right? Because you don't ask, right? So now he's mad because he had this hidden agenda you didn't know nothing about. And so you just talk chit-chatting and preparing dinner and dealing with the kids and just, doing whatever. And then he's sitting over there seething because you haven't addressed his problem that he ain't told you that he has. And then he's mad now because nobody's paying attention to his problem that he ain't told nobody that he has. And so then he storms out the door pissed off because his wife doesn't listen to him. That's the story he's going to tell everybody else. But she's like, what? What are you talking about? I was listening to you. If you had something you wanted to say, why didn't you just say it? So she's scratching her head, looking confused, like, what the hell just happened? And in the meantime, he's mad because he got this secret, thing going on in his head that don't nobody know. I'm telling you, this would piss me off. And if some dude came and tell me, well, I wanted to talk about my problems, and you didn't even ask me about it, and I wanted you to hold my hand, and you didn't hold my hand, so I would probably slap him. It's like you're delirious. Snap out of it. Something's wrong with you. Shut up. Stop it. Ooh wee. I'm telling you, it's just too much. It's like just talking about it, I'm tired. I just want to go lay down. This is just too much damn work. Men are just exhausting and they don't even understand how exhausting they are. Open your mouth. You're a grown man. Talk to somebody. Oh my God. This is unbelievable. Okay, so let's move on. I had too much fun with that one. He wants you to believe in his capabilities. Okay, what is this? What does that mean? That means he wants you to have hope. He wants you to have hope that he's going to be the man that he says he's going to be. Well, now, this is a tricky thing. This is tricky because a lot of it's going to depend on what the project is and how old he is and how likely it is that he can actually make this happen. if this thing requires like expertise, like education or experience and stuff, and he talking about he want to start a business and he want to do that, but he don't have no education, no experience running business, and he don't know what he talking about. He just saw some stuff on TV. It sounded like a good idea. Now he talking about he needs $40,000 to get started, and he wants you to co-sign a loan or something. Well, now we're not gonna. That's not gonna happen. So when I say no, I say no. I'm not buying you no, trucks so you can start a long distance trucking business. No, I'm not investing no money for you to rent a store. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. You're going to do that on your own. Well, then they get mad and say that you don't believe in their dreams. But it's like their dreams are a lot of times unrealistic and writ on sand. You know. Shut up, Drea. Ah, what are you stroking his ego for? My thing is this. If a man is doing some fabulous and great things, it doesn't require an ego stroke. It merely requires acknowledgement of the greatness that he's already done because he already did it, right? Stroking his ego means that you're giving him credit and pub for stuff that he's thinking about he might want to do, or you trying to blow up his head and make him feel like he's, better than what he really is. I'm not doing that. If you do some fantabulous stuff, I'll tell you it's fantabulous. Man, you get a Pulitzer or something, I'm all over it. I'm probably buy an ad or buy a billboard and shit to brag about you. But, you just doing just regular joke stuff. I mean, I'm bake you a cake or something, but we're not going to be having no like party or whatnot. No ad on the radio or nothing. I mean, what you want from me? These dudes they want too much. Uh, it says, let your husband know that you believe in his talents and skills and are supportive of him. Your encouragement is the most meaningful of everyone. The most crucial thing you can do is, and they underline this, make your man feel like a man and not a little boy. Okay, why is that my job? Do you make me feel like a woman? I'm a woman 24/7, 365. I wake up a woman. I go to sleep a woman. I'm a woman every second in between. I'm a woman when I'm asleep. I'm a woman when I'm awake. Why do I have to make you feel like anything? You make yourself feel that way. If you don't feel like a man, that means you're not. You're some little punk ass bitch. And I can't do that. I'm not going to be sacrificing myself and stuff to try to make you feel anything about yourself. That means you have low self-esteem and no confidence. And I can't stand men like that. Cannot stand it. Get your shit together. Man up. G up. Get it together. Grow a pair. And don't be looking for me to be defining you as anything. That's not going to happen. You come to me with that and watch what happens. I will rip you. Where you thought your ego was in shreds when you came, you going to leave with it in a box because I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to put it through like it's going to be like confetti when I get through. I'm not doing that. Any man tell me, I want you to build my ego. And I'm going in. I'm going in. And it's going to be ugly. Yeah, make him feel like a man. I hate that. Putting responsibility for women on how you feel about yourself. Low self-esteem having piece of shit. Get your act together. I would never do that. I'm never doing that. Girl, destroy it like I hit it with a bomb. I'm telling you. Any man came at me with that, that would be a mistake. That would be an utter and total grievous error on his part. You aren't supportive enough? Oh, you don't think so? Let me show you what lack of support is. You thought that was lack of support. Oh, you gonna wish you had that. Man, this is just too much. Make him feel like a man and not a little boy. Test what makes him tick by giving him a little control. Okay, that sounds like a child. That's what you do with little kids. You let them make independent decisions like, what pair of pants do you want to wear today, Johnny? When you go to preschool, mommy usually picks your clothes out, but today you get to have some control and pick the pants that you want. That's what this sounds like to me. Let him have some control as you are comfortable. If he was any kind of man, he would already have demonstrated that he could make independent decisions and control shit, and I wouldn't have to be, quote, letting him do anything. How do I let you be a man? That means you're stopping yourself. Don't put that on me. Oh, this article. Why? Okay, I must have printed it out so I could go off. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm only on point two, and I'm already hot. Who wrote this? Let me find. A woman, Sherry somebody. I don't know how to pronounce her name. November 2018. Yeah. Like a pinata. You right, lady boss. Just like spilling ego guts everywhere. I'm not doing that. Oh my God, I'm gonna stay single forever. Is this what I have to do? You know what this would make me do? This would really make me disrespect him. I would just feel like, oh, you're just trash. What kind of, you can't even spell man, so you can't hardly be one. If you need all of this from a woman to feel like you somebody, that's some self esteem that's in the toilet, and I just cannot. Yeah, she's on one for real. Woo! Give him a sense of responsibility in the relationship. How about you be responsible for taking out the trash and washing them dishes? Let's start there. Do some laundry. Make yourself useful. Start there. Then they move on to point number three, understanding. Men want to know that you get them. They are often more logical and like to problem solve. This has a value and creates some balance between the women who are generally more emotional and in touch with their feelings. This chick needs to have her face slapped. She is so, ugh. One of the ways you can both show that you understand each other is by making a commitment to talk daily. Well, who doesn't talk every day? Plan a daily exercise. You take 20 minutes to ask each other positive questions. What are we, like in grade school, playing 20 questions? This could include things that are about what attracts you to one another, your favorite date together, what your partner's favorite quality is. Okay, that's going to last like one day. Then what? Oh my God, this chick is just unbelievable. Problem solved. See that? So Nate laughing just like me because I'm thinking, now you're a problem creator. Men create way more problems than they solve. Look at global warming. Who created that problem? Who created the problem with COVID? That was men too. Who creates bombs? Men. Men. Okay, but they probably, okay, you want to get credit for solving the problem that you created? How does that work? You try to make yourself relevant by creating problems, and then you go and try to get credit for fixing the problems that you made, and you want a round of applause for that, and you want to get credit for being a problem solver. No, sir. Not happening. I'm just like in awe of this article. I just can't believe this chick. She is seriously on one. Wow. They want to know that you get them. I get them all right. I get them better than they get themselves. Appreciation and affirmation. They like to be patted on the back, it says. One way to do this is by complimenting your husband often. Rather than overdoing it, making sure it's genuine and sporadic throughout the week. So that means only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do simple things like let your husband know how you appreciate how hard he works. That thank him for how he takes care of the family. Tell your husband how good he looks in that shirt. Kiss him and tell him you really admire him as a person. Now, see, there as an aside, if I really feel those things because he is all of that and he is holding it down and he's doing the damn thing, then I don't need an article to tell me to do those things. It's going to come naturally, right? You know, you got a man who's like, making some shit happen, right? Most of, you know what I mean? We be like, damn, babe. We're not going to use these words, but it's going to be, that kind of response. But, you got somebody, he's been dusty for 2 years, and then he finally get a job making $10, $15 an hour, and then what, he want like a parade and shit with elephants and clowns and, marching band? And that's what I'm supposed to do to pat him on the back? I'm not going to do that. I must be mad because it's like, what took you so long? We've been around here suffering for 2 years while you sat on your butt. And now you want to get kudos because you finally stepping up? 40-year-old rappers, I don't know what's wrong with these people. So I don't know. This is kind of interesting. Complimented you. If he did something that deserves a compliment, he will get one. But I'm not going to be sitting around trying to think about stuff that he might have maybe done or thought about doing to give him a compliment. We're not going to do that. And how hard, I appreciate how hard he works. Is he going to appreciate how hard I work? Because every woman I know does 3 times as much as any man in a marriage. Because they all consider that if they do some housework and stuff or deal with the kids, he's helping her. Not that it's his responsibility just as much as it is hers. That's not how they see things. So if he ain't giving out no kudos for all the laundry and baby kids sitting at homework doing and school running and all these things that I would be doing as the woman, you hella freeze over before I thank you for working hard when I'm doing 5 times as much as you. You better get out of here with that. No, they don't be doing crap. So, they don't do all these things that she's putting down here. I don't know what this woman, where does this chick fall off of Mars or something? Acceptance. We all want to be accepted for who we are. We don't want others to try to change us. No, that's true. Men are often hurt and angered when their wives try to change them. Okay, in particular, if it concerns their health and safety. Now, this is one point I agree with, but this is a mutual point because I feel like, and I've talked about this before. Actually, I think I did a video or two on it. If you can't accept for somebody for who and what they are, you don't have any reason to be with them. Okay, you can't get with somebody and then think that you have the right to try to pressure them to be what you want them to be. That's wrong. They have the right to be who they want to be. If it's not what you like, then you get gone. That's what you do. That's how you do that. You do not have any right to try to give somebody and mold them like Mars Blockman into what you want them to be. That's wrong, and that's going to piss anybody off. Okay, so let's move on. Less chatter, it says. Just the wording of that is offensive. Because a woman is trying to bond with her husband by telling him about her day and just chit-chatting about things that she saw and noticed and what made her laugh and stuff that she was, confusing or puzzling or interesting to her, something. She's sharing her day with her man. So she calls it chatter. So she's already demeaned you and degraded you as a woman. But it's with that one word. So then she says, if he's tired, involved in a project, or generally isn't up for a chat, don't push it. Women can be especially chatty sometimes, so it's important to carve out time to talk with your husband. Consider expressing yourself in additional ways to other friends, family, or through alternative ways like art, journaling, or online forums. Oh, yeah, but we flip back to number one, affection and understanding and appreciation and affirmation that he wants. Okay, but you ain't willing to give it? Because that's the thing about marriage. When your mate needs you, a lot of times, article's only 2 years old. It's not that outdated. The woman is outdated, but the article is from 2018, November of 2018. So it's a year and a half old. It's not outdated. What the point is that I'm making, though, is that you can't expect to get something in a relationship that you're not willing to give. And in a relationship, it requires, especially marriage, you're going to have to do things sometimes and be there for your partner at times when it's not convenient, at times when you don't want to, at times when you would rather be doing something else. The same with your children. You got to be there for the people that you have a responsibility and obligation to, no matter what. When they need you, you need to be there. Put down what you're doing and pay attention to them right now. That's what's important. You only get that one opportunity to do that. Kids grow up. That one moment in time, you're never going to get that time back because now they're going to be older and more closer to being an adult and on out the door. So stop. Pay attention to your kids. And if you have a man that does the same for you, you do the same back. Now, if he just wanted to be one-sided, because, you do all that for him, but you got to go do all your friends and all of that, Steve, no, this is not a good situation. This is a very one-sided relationship. Well, they's not having them acting like it. She's talking about how they already act. She's saying this is what they want and this is how they are. So this is the real deal here. This is why I be going off all the time. This is nothing new. So then they go on to point number 7. Wait, 9, 8, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 8. Free time. He wants, when he gets off of work, give him some space by allowing him to unwind without any chatter or questions. Do we get that privilege? We pick up the kids from daycare, hit the grocery store, and come in the door. When do we get to sit down and have free time to unwind? When does that happen? Why is he so damn special? You went in head 50 on these babies too. Get your butt in here and deal with them. If it's 2 kids, you better take one of them. How about that? Split it up. So everybody got to be Bob's nerves to get shot, not just mine. This is some crazy stuff. I tell you, I would lose my mind if I had a husband like this. He would get cussed out on the daily and probably be left at the house by himself because I would go walk the fuck off, get in my car and drive off and leave him and them damn kids there. Trust. Trust is vital to the success of a marriage. Couples build trust in healthy relationships by being honest with each other, communicating often, and learning how to fight fairly. It takes time to build trust, right? And that should happen before you ever get married. Over the years, you two will learn how to keep promises, be yourself, and show how much you love and appreciate each other. If you're having doubts about your husband and find it difficult to trust him, get counseling and don't engage in activities like infidelity or spying on him. My thing is, I don't know, well, very few women spy on a man without reason. There's something that made their spidey senses go off, something that they feel uneasy about, some corner cutting, some funny business that's going on that makes her alarm bells ring. Once a woman's alarm bells ring, she starts investigating. Once she starts investigating, that's when she starts finding stuff. If there's nothing going on, then her alarm bells won't ring. Once you ring them, then it's all bets are off. And trust is on the edge of the cliff. So men don't understand that, a woman, when she first loves you, they're never going to find anything purer and better than that. She's wide open, heart wide open, mind wide, everything. But inevitably, they mess it up. They start lying, cheating, being dishonest, hiding stuff, having all kind of weird habits and stuff that make her feel bad about herself. And you all know what I'm talking about, but don't you type it in the chat room. And, it's just a problem. It creates a problem of doubt, insecurity, insecurity, and she feels unsure about how he feels about her. That creates doubt and that creates distrust. The relationship is on shaky ground, and he did it. And then they never understand why the woman leaves them. Well, I was working and, I loved her and everything, but, she just came out of the blue sky and she just left me. Think back to how you did things, how you handled yourself, and I'm sure you'll find the answer. You set that up. You set that in motion. So don't be trying to play the victim. They always trying to play the victim. And the final one is companionship. So you can say that he's not only your lover, but your friend. Staying friends and companions throughout the years requires that you make quality time to be together and have new experiences together. Marrying your best friend also means being mindful of how you talk to each other, not taking it for granted, and making small sacrifices to please each other. Practice using kind words. Show gratitude for him daily and choose to watch his favorite local sports game instead of your go-to show. Nope. That's why you must, if you're married, have 2 TVs. You watch what you want to watch. I'm going to watch what I want to watch. I don't want to watch. And baseball, I just want to die. I went to a baseball game. I went to sleep. That was the slowest. Who likes that? That is the slowest game in the world. Man, I could see the grass growing. It was that slow. I couldn't do it. I like basketball. Fast stuff happening. So that is, now that I've finally talked about this, I've held on to this all that time. I'm going to toss it out because it's garbage. I just don't even know. Don't get sick. I don't even know what to say because it's, this idea. This is why I say, though, ladies, I keep telling you, you know what you're doing. You talking about you want to get married? This is a perfect example of why you need to have some very serious conversations before you sign on the dotted line, before you fling that hand out there and be putting rings on it and making commitments and promises and ordering up wedding invitations and stuff. Know what the man needs from you. What is he expecting from you? What is it that you want from him? Can you guys give each other what you need and want? And how are you gonna mesh? How are you gonna deal with the conflicts and stuff that you inevitably gonna have? How is that going to happen? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And talk about all of that beforehand. Well, it is garbage, but notice how we used it to our advantage. Because I can make anything work. So yeah, her giving all them instructions is definitely garbage, but it's a good thing because a lot of men think that way. So what if you married one and you didn't know that that's what it was, and you didn't pay attention to what I'm telling you right now, and so you got mad because you just wanted that ring on your finger, and the next thing you know, he starts popping out with some of this stuff about what you don't never do and how he has all these secret agendas, he wants all this stuff, and you reflect back on this article and you say, damn, I should have listened to Deb and asked some questions and had these conversations that she told me to have, but I didn't do it, and now here I'm married to this fool and wondering what the hell I'm going to do because I need to get up out of here. I'm trying to save you from that. Okay? I'm trying to save you from that. Y'all need to have some deep conversations, not just about what movies you like and, uh, you got to know he's the one. My thing is, can I stand you? Because, at my age, they all pretty much the same, crazy and silly and just whatever. Everybody got gray hair and wrinkles and shit, including me. So that's not, nope, it's from 2018, Hadia. Um, it's just, you just better know what you're doing. That's all I'm going to say. Go into it with your eyes wide open. Do not be on some fairy tale Cinderella shit. Okay? Be about it. Have your grown woman on, and if you get married to a man, you need to know who you marrying and why you marrying him. And that's the bottom line. You didn't seduce him enough. How about I don't seduce you at all? You be wishing for them few times that I did. Because now I'm not doing shit because you complained. I don't like complaining men. Whatever I do, you better be like, Hercules, Hercules. Because soon as they complain, I'm out. I don't want to hear it. I don't like being whining. It just is a turnoff to me. Soon as they open their mouth to start complaining about something, questioning something, talking about something some negative way, asking some negative ass question, I'm done. I turn off like a switch. I don't want to hear it. I didn't ask you for your opinion, so don't offer it. Shut up. Just sit there and look cute because I don't want to hear it. And I've been, just be looking at them. And they don't understand. It's like I get turned off and then I'm start looking around and see who else is here. Hi, what's your name? Because, I just don't want to hear all that. He was a cheater. Yeah, well, most of them are these days. I'm just like, I don't know. They just get on my nerves. I just don't want to hear it. I just want an old fashioned, man that don't complain about nothing. He just shuts up, just sits there like a bump on a log and don't say nothing. Go fix some shit or something. Be that strong, silent type. Most men these days talk too much. They talk more than women. Always running their damn mouths about something. Oh my God. And just talking about something don't nobody even want to hear. Just some endless words just spewing forth from their lips, just non-stop garbage talk. Just blah, 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 ha, 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 blah, 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 about nothing. I don't understand it. But anyway, that's it for my pop-up. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I want to repeat. If you feel like you watch the new series about dating and being married to a narc sociopath nutcase, and you feel like you want to share some of your relationship stories, go send me an email to depsterism@gmail.com, and I will send you back. I will include in there, what are some of your story, because not everybody's getting chosen. Some stories are a little. Some people got no. But anyway, not everybody's getting chosen. But if we feel like from what you say that you got something that'll be of widespread interest to the listeners, then we're gonna send you back a link that will give you a link to my event calendar. Is self-booking, and once you book your date and time, it's going to send you a link to Zoom, and then we'll set up that's our interview. Okay. And then I'll just wait for me and I'll be there that day and that time, whatever day and time you pick that's, available. I only marked off the days that I'm open and available. But other than that, you guys, send in your advice questions. Go in the link below if you have a question you want to submit for What the Fuck Tuesday coming up. And you guys go and have a wonderful rest of your evening, a great Friday night. I'll see you on Saturday afternoon for the next live stream. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com signing out.